Why then are you not happy that the party is moving towards being a party of Remain and supporting the idea of another referendum?
I'm also somebody who accepted the result because I'm a Democrat. And with regret, I said,
but
OK,
we can involve changing your mind, can't it?
It can indeed, but I think that the instruction from the British people, 52-48, was a mandate to move house but stay in the same neighbourhood. I think there was a way of leaving the European Union and reuniting our deeply divided country, and I think that that's the path that we should have taken. Now we are where we are after, admittedly, 3 years of utter incompetence on the part of the government, and I can understand why people say, well, none of this is deliverable. But the reality is that the only way through is the withdrawal agreement bill. We can talk about referendums and general elections till the cows come home. But as things stand, every day that goes by, we get closer to a catastrophic no-deal crash out on the 31st of October. The only way to prevent that is to get the withdrawal agreement bill over the line at second reading. And by the way, there's a pledge in there for a set-piece debate and a vote on whether the deal should be put to a referendum.
The other way to stop it would be to say, right, this is what the Conservative government wants to do. Let's ask the people if they really want to go ahead with that. I mean, that's what Labour appears to have agreed, the Labour leadership.
But you're in cloud cuckoo land if you think that Boris Johnson is going to suddenly come and propose a referendum. It's not going to happen. So then the other possibility is...
But, I mean, if it's the right thing to do, Labour is the main opposition party, you can't quite tell, can you?
Yeah, but the last 3 years have been characterised by virtue signalling and unicorn chasing. Politicians saying what should happen and, and protesting about what's not happening. So you're saying you don't agree with a referendum because you don't think it can be achieved or because you think it's a bad idea in principle? I'm saying the only way to break the logjam and to prevent a catastrophic no-deal crash out on the 31st of October is to vote the withdrawal agreement bill over the line at second reading. At committee stage, we have all those massive concessions to Labour, customs unions, workers' rights, environmental standards, and a pledge to a set-piece debate and a binding vote on putting the deal to a referendum. So if we're serious about getting a referendum, the withdrawal agreement bill is actually the only way to do it. What Jeremy should say to the new Prime Minister is, bring the withdrawal agreement bill to Parliament, Labour will vote for it, and then we can move forward.
But those concessions are off the table, aren't they? Because, first of all, both Hunt and Johnson have rejected the withdrawal agreement, and secondly, they certainly haven't backed what the May government proposed in terms of concessions to Labour.
Boris Johnson has said he wants to leave the European Union with a deal. That's his preferred position.
But not the deal, not the only deal that's on the table.
It's the only game in town, Adam. Let's be serious. If he thinks he's going to go off to Brussels, when Brussels is in a state of flux with all of the new jobs being put in place, to negotiate something new, it's not going to happen. There might be a slight tweak here or there, but if Boris Johnson is serious about leaving the European Union with a deal, the withdrawal agreement bill is the only game in town.